Hello and welcome to this episode at a time when travel is in absolute chaos due to the novel coronavirus. Sleeping on airport floors, holed up in one of the last hotels opened in a foreign city, or put in mandatory quarantine for 14 days with little cash and little hope for returning home. This is the plight of the hundreds of thousands of stranded travelers of all nationalities around the world. Some 40 countries, across the globe have decided to shut their borders with little or no notice in the last 3 days alone. Well, to discuss this, I have two guests joining me now. One is travel expert Kojo Bentum-Williams, joining me from Accra, Ghana, as well as Africanews journalist Daniel Mumbere, who actually works here in the Republic of Congo, but finds himself entangled in the travel restrictions and is currently stuck in Uganda. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Daniel, let's start with you. How have the travel restrictions impacted you?
On the 20th, the Republic of Congo, where I work, announced that it had closed off its airspace and would not be letting in any planes. Then just 2 days afterwards, that is on the 22nd, Uganda also closed off its main airport, and therefore I can't fly out of Uganda and I also can't come into Congo until the 23rd of April.
And Daniel, just yesterday, 5 new cases were announced in Uganda, bringing the number up to 14 now. Speak to us about what this means in terms of travel restrictions right now.
So Uganda has been trying to get ahead of the curve as far as the coronavirus response is concerned, and they put in place some very stringent measures that have included a compulsory institutional quarantine for people coming from high-risk countries. They've been on record for having asked delegates for an EU business forum to either self-quarantine or go back to their countries, and they did go back to their countries. They've also closed off the country's main airport, Entebbe International Airport, to all passenger planes, so you can't fly in and out. There are some emergency flights in case your government decides to evacuate its nationals. So we have some foreign nationals who are flying out on emergency flights, but that is the situation as it is.
And let me bring you in now, Kojo. Luckily for Daniel, he is in his own country. What are some of the solutions that are available for foreign nationals stranded in other countries due to the COVID-19?
In terms of solutions for travelers who are stranded at this point in time, embassies and high commissions, if you have the chance to reach out to them, they're putting a lot of communication out there. So different countries have issued travel advisories and have advised either citizens or people who are traveling to the country to consider their options. You would have to explore using other airports that are open. Even if that airport are still open, you're not sure of the land borders. So typically in West Africa, Togo is still open. Their airport is still open, so people are exploring that option.
Kojo, Daniel mentioned earlier the issue of citizens being repatriated to their countries of origins. Are there other African countries doing the same? And also, isn't this a time when travel insurance kicks in?
As of now, they've not been, apart from South Africa, who brought those people from, who brought their citizens from Wuhan, China, there has not been any other country that I can pinpoint. And with regards to the insurance, I'm not sure at this point in time, people will still be in the frame of mind to be able to reimburse you or, give you something that you may, explore using, because a lot of things are not happening as we are not in normal times. So we are going through a very, challenging times, especially the travel and tourism industry. And as we kept on saying, that you have to stay home and travel tomorrow and, adhere to the measures of the government to be able to curb the spread.
Absolutely. We are trying our best, all of us, stranded or not, to avoid the virus at this time. Thank you both, gentlemen, for joining me on the program. So what is the fate of all these stranded travelers at a time when more countries on the continent are going into lockdown? Let's discuss this on social media at Nyashake Mutizwa. Until next time.